Rock Power fans and surrounding areas, welcome to the Coach Keith Thompson, our weekly podcast. This is the podcast where we talk RF Pirates basketball. And on the screen, I have the head coach, the head man that leads our program here on the screen, Coach Keith Thompson. Coach, how you doing?
I'm pretty good in yourself.
Doing good, Coach. Thank you for coming out and spending a few minutes here with us to talk a little bit about your program and your players, Coach. And want to jump right into recap the Taft tournament. I thought, Coach, that we were going to fare well. Looking at some of the teams that we were going to play, I thought we're going to be doing pretty good. We did great. There were some really good games. I wasn't able to get there like I wanted, but I did see some of the games. There were some close games. Wish I would have been there, but Rockport makes it all the way to the final game. We do fall a little short to Corpus Christi Carroll, a really good basketball program. But Coach, talk to us a little bit about those games. We played two on Thursday, I believe, two on Friday. We come back on Saturday. What did you see from your team? I mean, obviously there was some nail biters, but we got to the championship game. What did you see from the players?
I thought I saw some confidence being built up in the guys. Like I said, man, we've been the schedule that we put together. I think is a pretty tough one. So I thought that this tournament gave us a chance to go out there and show the results of us playing against these bigger, stronger, faster teams. And I thought that we were able to, go out there and put a winning streak together. So I was proud of the boys and how they started to build some confidence and start to work together as a team for the most part. And then, like you said, man, just running into a tough Carroll team, which I think we hung in there for about 3.5 quarters. Trailing by 12. It was a ball game. And then they pulled away late in the fourth quarter, ended up winning by 20. But man, I like it. I like what I saw. I like how the guys were tested and how they rose to the occasion.
I think a lot of these teams that we're playing, they're bigger schools, they're faster, obviously. But I think it prepares us for what I think is going to be a tough district. It was a tough district last year, and it's going to be another tough district for us this year. So these teams that we're playing really helps us out, the speed, the physicality. Coach, in that tournament, did any player outside of the original players that usually show up, did anybody just catch your eye? Somebody that possibly hadn't done before that you thought had a really good, not a game, but a good tournament?
Dawson Phillips. I thought that this tournament he came alive. He made some good plays. Started to develop some confidence, shooting the basketball, making some drives, and we know what we get from him on the defensive end. Very good athlete, quick feet, strong for his size. But offensively, he surprised me and has continued to start building that trust with us and the coaching staff.
He did, and we'll talk a little bit about last night's game. But he was lighting it up there for a bit when he came in last night. I was watching. I said, "Oh man, Dawson getting going here. That could be a good thing for us." So definitely see what you've seen from him. He definitely showing some signs on the offensive side where he can light it up from the three, from the outside. That's a good thing for Rockport Fulton. And then let's talk about last night's game. We were out there if you didn't catch it, we were also streaming it. You could have caught it and still can watch it on the Pirates Cove Sports Network. It'll be there for about another couple of hours. And then by tomorrow morning, it'll be gone. We have to take that off. But Coach, this was a very good Victoria East team. Came with some athleticism, speed. They could shoot the three. Number 21 got going really quickly. So they brought everything. And we kind of struggle a little bit.
Oh,
Turnover.
I can't hear you.
Can't hear me at all.
Nope.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait. There you go. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Coach, so last night, Victoria East, I mean, a real athletic team coming in, Coach. And we struggled a little bit. They were able to turn the ball over a lot. But what did you see from the team? What were they doing that was causing so many problems for us? Especially, they were putting so much pressure on us where they were able to get in those passing lanes, and those were easy buckets for them. What were you seeing that they were doing to us that was causing so much problems for the Pirates?
I think their length just gave us trouble. for the most part, like when you're 4A, you usually don't see that type of link. But like you said, man, there are some big boys. They're able to stunt in the gap, jump the passing lanes, things like that. But I think that what that teaches us more is how to be a little bit more patient with those passes. You know what I mean? Start using our ball fakes a little more, going back door, um, being able to play basketball a little bit more. Um, I thought that the most part was, we still need to get adjusted to that speed of the game. Sometimes I feel like when we play against some of these bigger, stronger, faster schools, these 5As, they speed us up, and the boys start to want to play at someone else's pace, except for instead of where they're comfortable at, um, which is a learning lesson for them and for me, and how I can go ahead and corral them and get them back, focused in what we need to be doing. But yeah, for the most part, I thought that they sped us up pretty good, especially at the beginning. Got some turnovers, things like that. But really their length I thought bothered us the most,
Yeah,
making me comfortable a little bit.
we got into a little run during the second half when we came out, got that little run going, and then of course, but they were fast. They were fast, very athletic. One just one or two guys. They had a couple of guys that could drive. They had some guys that could shoot. A well-rounded team that we played last night. That was a good challenge for us. But I think moving forward, it's going to definitely help us out in looking at the schedule and some of the teams that we got coming up that are going to be just as good and the speed. So that was good to see them. Not good to take the L, but we learn from that as we continue to get better. And we'll get Coach to preview these next two games that are coming up here in just a bit. But Coach, I also want to talk about the other levels. We were able to stream the second half of the freshman game against Victoria East and then our JV. Talk to us a little bit about that game last night. Again, I'll tell you this for those that didn't go and watch it. If anybody beats that Victoria East JV team, I want to see who beats them, because to me, they're not going to be beaten. They were really good. They were physical. They were big, and very athletic with speed, like you're talking about at the JV level. But what did you see from those games with our Pirates? And then talk to us a little bit about the middle school and what we're doing at that level.
Man, with the freshmen, I love the way the freshman team competes. Whether they're down, or they're up big, or they're just in a game. I felt like for the most part, man, they compete hard. They go after every loose ball. They're flying around the court. So again, it's tough because I feel like um, we're putting them through the ringer by putting them through our varsity schedule. Everybody we play, they play. And like we talked about earlier, we're playing some really good teams because our goal is to be ready by playoffs. But at the end of the day, like you said, when we go back to district, it'll be a benefit to our freshmen and our JV teams. Um, there are some guys, there's some teams that they're playing that are almost varsity like for the JV. So it's just good battles, man. Good experience. Especially for those that have the dreams and the admiration of becoming a varsity player. Maybe in the next couple of years, they can see where they gauge against other good players and things like that. How much work they got to do. So I keep telling them all the time, whether you win or you lose, keep your head high, come back to work the next day, and let that fuel you to get better.
And you're right, Coach. It's a learning process, right? It takes time, but the hustle is there. They don't quit. They keep playing. They tune the scoreboard out. I don't even think they pay attention to that. It's just until the buzzer sounds. They play tough, and eventually something's going to give. But these teams that they're playing, they are bigger. They are faster than we are. But again, I think that all that's going to benefit us somewhere down the road, even if it's not in our district this year, going into next year, somewhere along the line, playing these faster, tougher, more physical teams are going to benefit us, and we're going to see that on the court. So it's good to play, and you're absolutely right. That freshman team did not give up. They continue to play tough. They go after every ball. They don't really just care. They just go play ball and let the chips fall where they may. So again, we were able to live stream their second half and then the full JV and the varsity. And we'll continue to do that as much as we can throughout the basketball season. We just don't want to focus on our varsity, but also on the other levels and what's going on. And eventually, I'm going to make my way over to the junior high at some point during the season to catch some of their games. Coach, before we preview, let's talk a little bit about our players. So coaches and I, coach,
Oh, you went out again.
really not sure what's going on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Wow, don't know what's going on. I'm looking at my screen here and everything looks good. There was something that popped up, but not sure.
Okay.
So I apologize for that. Let's Coach is going to talk a little bit about his player. Eventually, he's going to be bringing some of his players on this podcast on his podcast to talk a little bit about the players and get their thoughts on the season and some of the games that they're playing. But we don't have any today, so I asked Coach if we could talk about a player. And today, we want to talk about senior Austin Broder. Austin has been in the program for some time. Coach, talk to us a little bit about Austin. I mean, the type of player that he is, type of person for people that don't know him and see him play. He's a bigger kid, very physical. So he can get down there with the big boys and bump. Not scared. We know he's not scared to do that. But what else can you tell us about Austin and what he brings to the team?
Austin is one of my smarter basketball players. Very intelligent, sometimes too much for his own good, but just knows the game. I think for you know, really well for a senior. One of the people that like to manipulate things in his advantage, which is kind of fun, being able to coach somebody like that. Because I think for the most part, it's challenging as a coach when you got a guy that is that smart that will try and make things work to his advantage at all times. So you got to think of ways. When I'm thinking about a drill, I'm thinking about what in my mind, what is Austin going to do and try to make this work for him. How can I make this a little harder for him? But like I said, man, one of the smarter guys on the team. Very unselfish when it comes to playing basketball. Doesn't care if he gets up shots or not. All he's worried about is getting his teammates involved and having them feel good about themselves and getting a win. Austin is also one of the kids that I have been around since my first year at Rockport. You know, coached him a freshman, then ended up moving and following him on JV. Then was blessed enough to go ahead and become his head coach for the last previous 2 years. So somebody that I know very well and I'm very fond of.
Yeah, he's great. We saw him on the football field. I mean, he gives it his all every time he's in there. He's a bigger kid, right? And so definitely we can use him. But it's been a joy to watch him both on the basketball court and on the football field as he does a lot of work. And you're right, he puts in the time. Smart kid. Didn't know that about him. I knew he was smart. Didn't know how smart, but you're telling us just how smart he is, and that's good to know. And that's why we do these podcasts and have Coach talk about the players because you know him in a way that fans don't know him, right? And so you're able to give us a little bit more insight. Coach, what is his jersey number?
23.
23. So now you know Austin Broder when you come see the game. Now you know 23 Austin Broder. You can kind of connect them. If not, go back to the podcast and we keep it there on our network. So, Coach, with that being said, before we preview this game, talk to us a little bit about injuries. Is everyone healthy right now? We're a couple of games away from district. It's just right around the corner, pretty much. So, where are we with injuries? What can you tell us, or is everyone healthy and ready to go?
Knocking on wood here. So far so good, man. Everybody is a okay. Some bumps, some bruises, things like that, but nothing major that's gonna keep them off the court. You know, these guys are tough, and they are taking care of their bodies well for this year. We made sure that we got them some extra padding. We got them some girdles for their chest and their legs and stuff. So yeah, man, been blessed. Can't complain. God's been taking care of the boys.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Like I said, and we'll get coaches' thoughts here in the next week or two, right before district starts, podcast before district, to kind of get your thoughts on what you think about. We talked a little bit about it, but as we go into the district, what are some of the other teams that are doing? So we'll get coaches' thoughts on that before district play starts. But it's going to be a great district game. I mean, you got Beeville, Ingleside's good, Rockport Fulton, Sinton. These are going to be battles. These teams play each other twice in the district, right? And so you really need to come out, support your team, the Rockport Fulton Pirates. I mean, these games are good, especially those that come down to the wire, right? Like you're just sitting there. You love it when the fans get involved. The gym gets really, really loud. I think there's going to be some of those games, quite a few of them that's going to go down to the wire, looking at some of the teams we're playing. And I can't wait to get down there. We want you there, but if you can't, we're definitely going to stream as many of these district games as we can for the Pirates. So definitely tune into that. Can't make it to the gym, support the Pirates through the live stream here on the Pirates Cove Sports Network. When I do it on my own, you see me sitting in the stands. We'll come live on our Facebook page, but there will be times when we will bring our equipment. We'll set up with the camera. It'll be a little bit more where you'll see the screen, the clock, and stuff. When we do that and go live with our main equipment, then we'll broadcast that on our Pirates Cove Sports Network YouTube channel. So I'll let you guys know what page we'll be on when we stream these games. So just wanted to get that out there. Coach, let's talk a little bit about what's coming up for the Pirates. Saturday, not Friday, but Saturday, December 14th, the Pirates will play at home against the CC Badgers. That's a 10, 11, 15, and 12:30 game. And then on Tuesday, another home game, December 17th, Bishop comes into town. Freshman, JV, and the varsity will play. Varsity plays at 6:15, correct, Coach? Not 7:30. So definitely want to make sure that if you're going to come out and watch the boys for this game on Tuesday against Bishop, the varsity plays at 6:15, not 7:30. Coach, talk to us a little bit about the CC Badgers and Bishop. I know Bishop. Bishop is tough. You played against them the last couple of years. They have a great program. They always do. Don't know much about CC Badgers. What can you tell us about these teams coming up?
The Badgers were kind enough to help us fill a game in our schedule. We had a team that dropped. They were looking for a game. We were looking for a game. So they were kind enough to help, fill our schedule and give us another game. They are a homeschool team. So we will be, playing them. I'm not sure what to expect. I've never seen them before. I got a little film on them. But you never know. That's the beautiful thing I love about basketball. Is anybody's night. Bishop, however, like you said, great program. They have a heck of a coach, man. Does an awesome job over there. Gets the boys to play hard. Buys into his system what he wants them to do. So you never know with those guys. They could be having a down year and still play hard and get some upsets. So kudos to him. However, though, Tuesday night, I wanted to go ahead and say this while I was on the podcast. If you can't, go ahead and make sure that you're there. We will be celebrating Roman Cox as he has reached his 1,000-point career, or 1,000-point career point in his 4 years at varsity. So we'll be celebrating him that night.
Coach, did he already reach it now, or he has? Okay, so the celebrations.
He's quite past it.
Wow, that's awesome, Coach. I definitely will be there. We were planning on streaming it anyway, so we'll definitely be there. Hopefully nothing happens, but we want to definitely catch that. Roman Coxey, I mean, that kid's a stud. He's been on varsity since his freshman year. And it's great that he has reached or surpassed that 1,000 mark. And on December 17th, it's a home game here against Bishop. Come early, like Coach Thompson said, we will be celebrating Roman Cox hitting that 1,000 plus. Awesome. It's awesome. I didn't know that. That's great to hear, so Coach. So I'll make sure I get out there early and catch it all on video. Congratulations to Roman Cox. So I'm sure he knows that this is going to happen.
Yeah, we've kind of talked to him about it. He doesn't know how big we're going to celebrate him, but he knows something's coming.
Yeah, he'll know now. He still don't know, but he knows it's coming now if he watches the podcast. But I'm glad that we're able to do that. Much deserved to a kid who puts in the work on the court. We see that all the time. That's all he does is play basketball, I think. But we've talked about just the type of kid that he is, the respectful type of kid that he is. If you see him, so I'm glad that we're able to celebrate that on Tuesday. Again, that's December 17th, Tuesday at Bishop. Pirate fans, come on out early, pack that gym to watch some good games, but also to celebrate Roman Cox's 1,000 point here as he's a senior. Well, Coach, thank you very much for coming on. I didn't have much today. Again, next week, Coach is going to try to bring some of his players on the podcast. Don't know if that'll happen next week, but once Coach lets me know who he selected and who will be on, I'll definitely post that up on our network, and we'll talk to them first on this podcast, ask them a few questions, and then once we're done with the player, then we'll go in with Coach and do the stuff that we do, recap, preview games. Coach, the last thing I have is, so how's practice going? Everything, how's the mood? Everything good? Because I saw the boys last night and they seem to be doing pretty good. I do got to ask you also, Coach, on top of how things are going in practice, the name, can you give me who's number 21 and 20 for us?
21 is Brian Kaiser, and number 20 is Gary Horton.
So Kaiser's the sophomore, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that, and I didn't know that. Okay, so I did, because those are the two that I did know. And Will, and number 22
is Caleb Wilshire.
I remember him through football. Okay, yeah, so that's great. All right, Coach. Well, thank you very much again. And so, how's practice going? How are the boys feeling out there?
Uh, they're teenage boys, so they're not enjoying the morning practice. I think getting up, especially some of the football guys, because they're transitioning from early morning football to early morning basketball. But I think they appreciate it when that school bell rings and they get to go home. Things like that. So, but they come in and it's hard to get yourself going when you're that young. But they come in, man, and I think that they handle business. Like we said, Roman is a good leader. He comes in and he not only tells people what to do, but shows them how to come in and get started from the jump. So I think we're doing pretty good, man. I know our schedule, I mean our record isn't really reflecting what we've done in the past. But again, like, man, they're working hard. They're playing against tough teams, and I'm hopefully that when district starts, this all starts to transition and translate to what we've been doing.
Yeah, coaches always say, look, the non-district is to get better, to practice for district, right? I've seen a lot of teams that don't do good in non-district, but they excel in district. That's what we need to get better at. And so you got to play the tougher teams. I mean, if your non-district is, if you're playing teams and you got a good record, but you're not really prepared to play these tough teams in district, it really does you no good. A lot of coaches use that non-district to be able to get that opportunity to play these tough teams, to see what we need to work on and have time to work on it, to take care and get that and get better at those areas before district starts. And I think the other thing, coach, is we got to remember you're putting in a new system too, a system that these guys have never seen, right? So on top of that, there's that. So all this takes time, but the hustle is there. Definitely, Pirate fans need to come on out, catch some of these games. We got a few more games in the non-district before the district starts, which is going to be tough. But Sinton, Beeville, Ingleside, Calhoun with Rockport, Fulton. They play each other twice. I'll tell you, these battles have been great in the past. And I think this year is going to be no different. So you definitely want to come on out to the gym and support them there. The kids, the coaches would love that. But if you can't, for whatever that reason, we will be there at most of the games. You can definitely support the Parts through the Parts Cove Sports Network. Definitely would love to see you supporting them on the stream if you can't make the game. Coach, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Good luck. We'll see you there on Tuesday. I can't be there on Saturday. I got to work, but Tuesday, the Bars Coast Sports Network will be there, and we'll be there early for the celebration. So I'll see you on Tuesday, Coach.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Sure, thank you.
All right.